Saving money can be tough in a world of rising costs where wages don't keep up. Add in trouble managing your own finances, and it can feel impossible to save money. Large goals like saving up $100,000 can feel completely out of reach, so that's why in this video I'm going to share why $10,000 is actually the goal that can completely change your life. Saving your first $10,000 will change your life, it will make it better, and let's talk about why. The first reason is that you can finally cover 99% of life's everyday surprise expenses. Once you save up $10,000, you can cover almost any kind of unexpected emergency expense that comes along. An unexpected car repair, you can cover that. An unexpected medical bill, you can cover that. Expenses that you didn't plan for are no longer a huge emergency because you have that $10,000 saved and ready to be used. There are very few expenses that will come up unexpectedly that are more than $10,000 without insurance there to help with those big expenses. So you can rest assured that once you have $10,000 saved, you're ready to cover almost anything that life can throw at you. That is a great feeling. This is one of the reasons why $10,000 can change your life, because it gives you that peace of mind that any sort of unexpected emergency expense will be covered. The next reason this is such a big goal is because that once you have $10,000, your stress levels will decrease. I promise $10,000 might not seem like a lot, but once you have it saved up, you will feel less stressed. It is incredibly stressful to go through life with no money saved because any sort of expense can just send you down a spiral of despair. When you have $10,000 saved up, those expenses that come along are still stressful. Yes, it can be stressful to have an unexpected emergency, but they are less stressful because you know you have the money to get you through. You aren't going to turn to something that will make things even worse down the road, and you can sleep a lot better at night when you're not on the edge of your finances and when you're not always teetering into the brink of falling into high interest debt. This is something that will give you a lot of peace of mind, and things will feel less stressful when they come up just because you know you have that money. Hitting that goal can also help you get off of relying on credit cards. Once you have $10,000 saved up, you will be able to stop relying on using high interest credit cards to get you through emergencies and expenses. Unfortunately, that's what most people do when an unexpected expense comes up. They put it on the credit card and then they can maybe pay it off or maybe not, and then they're paying a lot of interest on that amount of money every single month as long as that balance is rolling over. Once you get into credit card debt, it can be really hard to get out because the interest levels are so high, and once you're in it, it's just really hard to make progress paying that debt off. When you have $10,000 saved up, you're able to get out of that debt cycle, you're able to stop relying on credit cards to get you through emergencies, and you're able to use credit cards responsibly if you want to get the points, but without having all of the interest that you're paying just for the privilege. Another reason saving up $10,000 is such a huge milestone is because it means you've built good financial habits. Once you've saved up $10,000, you have made a savings habit in your life. Whether you've automated those savings transfers, whether you've done a savings challenge, it really doesn't matter how you got there. You found what worked for you and you were able to build up $10,000 and get out of that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle where you had nothing saved. And the great news is once you've saved $10,000, this good habit does not go away. It doesn't just magically disappear and you're back to the bad cycle from before. It means that you've built a savings habit in your life, so now you're able to build up even more savings and move on to better financial habits as well, like investing your money, because you have that $10,000 ready for emergencies. You're able to use your extra money to do things like invest so that your money can grow even further. This is a fantastic place to be, and once you hit that $10,000, it's where things really start to take off. Hitting $10,000 saved also means you have more options. Having money in the bank means you're able to say yes and no to things, and you're able to stand firm in those decisions because you know you don't have to rely on just what your bank account says. Basically, if you don't want to do extra work for money because you're just bone tired and you don't want to spend your time doing that, you're able to say no more easily because you know you already have $10,000 saved. If you were paycheck to paycheck and scared of any expense coming up, you might not be able to say no. You might have to say yes to every opportunity to work that comes along. Having a buffer of $10,000 just gives you a little bit of breathing room to really evaluate your choices more. Maybe you want to say no to some extra work. Maybe you want to say yes to buying yourself concert tickets because you have a once in a lifetime opportunity to see the band you've always loved. There are so many ways to to basically have the ability to make choices and have options once you hit $10,000. The ability to say no to some things and yes to other things because you have money saved is a huge advantage, and it gives you so much more power than you have when you are living paycheck to paycheck with nothing saved. Along the same lines, you are able to spend money guilt-free once you hit a savings milestone like $10,000. When you know you have money saved and set aside for emergencies and bad times, you're able to more easily spend your money without any guilt. When you don't have any money saved, it can be really hard to go out and enjoy yourself when you're spending money because you know in the back of your mind you shouldn't be doing it. You should be putting your money in savings. You know that if something comes along, you're not going to be able to cover that expense. And instead, you're spending your money on something that's fun. When you have $10,000 over there in a high yield savings account, you don't have to do that. You can go out and enjoy yourself and know that you can afford it because you have savings. You have the next emergency expense covered. You have that money set aside, and you're able to actually spend money and enjoy it with no guilt, with no shame, with no worries, because you've already saved up $10,000. Being able to spend money appropriately and responsibly without any guilt makes your life richer because you're able to enjoy the experiences that you're actually buying with that money. So that's one of the really great things about having money saved, is that you can then also spend money and enrich your life and make it better. And the final reason that saving up $10,000 can change your life is because life starts to get easier when you have money. Let's be honest, life is easier with money. It just is. That's a fact of life, and money can buy convenience, it can buy help, it can buy all of the things that you don't have when you are struggling with money. When you save up your first $10,000, you get the first taste of this reality because it might not feel like a lot of money. You're definitely not rich with $10,000, but you finally get to feel comfortable. You can avoid things like late payments, you can avoid things like fees. You don't have to worry as much about the next expense sending you spiraling into credit card debt. Basically, at $10,000, you can move from surviving to more comfortable. That's the first step on a long financial journey to building wealth, but it's the first step and the first milestone that can feel really tangible and exciting. $10,000 is definitely a milestone worth working toward, and if you need a little bit of help working on that savings goal, definitely watch this video next.